Hey, 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 incredible ones. How are you? Happy Wednesday. I'm a minute or so early. Happy Leverage and Scale Wednesday. Give Facebook an opportunity to gather the people. Hello, hello, hello. Once you arrive, come on in, say hello so that I know that you are here. And we shall go from there. So make sure you say hello so I know that you are here. So I know who is watching with us. And I'm going to start as I always do every Wednesday while we're waiting for folk to come and join us. I'm going to start with some announcements. And I'm actually going to start with a prayer, and then I'm going to start with announcements, and then we'll jump in from there. So let me just pray while we're waiting. So, Lord God, we say thank you. We thank you because of who you are, God. We thank you because of all that you have done, are doing, and will do, Lord. We thank you for increase, God. We thank you for this month of new beginnings, God. And I thank you for the fresh revelations that are being downloaded into me at this time. God, I continue to ask that you would speak to these, your children, God, that you would speak mightily and boldly, God, so that they hear you without confusion, without doubt, and without fear, and start moving in the direction that you would have for them to go. God, I thank you for all that it is that you have already ordained for them to experience in their life. And I thank you that as they show up, you have the opportunity to show out on their behalf. We love you, we honor you, we thank you, and we praise you for these and all things. In Jesus' name, amen. Ah, how nice of you guys to join me. So make sure you say hello so that I know that who all is here as we get this party started. All right, so let's start with some announcements. So the new episode of the Leverage Your Incredible Factor podcast is live. This week I sit down with Angel Rebo. Okay, let me just tell you. Angel is originally, I believe, from Barcelona, Spain. Bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. He shifted the way that I look at surrender yet again. So I want you to listen to that episode, Surrender Then Ask. That is live now on our podcast. If you have listened to the podcast and you love it, please do us a favor and leave us a rating and a review on any of the podcast indicators that you are listening on, but especially if you are on Apple Podcasts. We are currently holding steady in the top 200 on chartable.com. And I know that that is thanks to you guys listening, downloading, and rating and reviewing. So thank you for that. All right, quickly, let's talk about Breakthrough Virtual. Breakthrough in Business, Next Level Everything 2020 has, the show must go on virtually. So some of you may have seen the post that I made that I literally was like, let's just cancel it and call it a year. But God was like, no, people need to experience the themes of breakthrough now more than ever. So the show is going on, but it's going on in a virtual environment. Every single year that I've held live events, and I've been doing live events since 2009, people have asked me if they could live stream into my event. And every single year, I have told them an unequivocal no. Well, not this year. This year, you have the opportunity to go from breakthrough to breakthrough to breakthrough from the comfort of your own home. Breakthrough Virtual is here. I'm really, really excited. If you register before September the 30th, you will get a breakthrough box in the mail. The breakthrough box will have everything that you need in order to experience the event from home. So if you know you want to break through and you don't want to travel, but you want to get what you need to set yourself up for 2021, because this is still the decade of next level everything, then you want to make sure that you register before September the 30th so that you can get your box. And you can secure your seat at breakthroughindbusinessevent.com. Breakthroughindbusinessevent.com. All right. Last up, before we talk about today's topic, and then we will eventually open it up for questions, is to talk about our pop quiz from last week. So let me get what last week's pop quiz question was, and then I will share my 2 cents. So here's the question. You've been going real hard in your business, on your business systems, trying to get your systems tight so that you can stop working so hard. Yet another late night when you start to tear yourself away from the laptop. You look at your calendar before you go to sleep, and you know that the next day is going to be busy. And when your alarm goes off, you cannot bring yourself to get out of the bed. You've got discovery sessions booked, and you could really use the new clients, an influx of cash, if you can close them, but you're tired mentally and physically. What do you do? Okay? Real life scenarios. That's what happens. So here are the options. A, quickly dress and go get that money. You can sleep when you're dead. B, text your assistant to clear your schedule. You're taking a self-care day. C, turn off the alarm and turn over. Most of your calls no show anyway. Or D, see if your assistant feels comfortable qualifying the calls and then rescheduling them for the next day. Or E, something else, right? So what do? I see everything. I see E, I see D. I see mostly E out of the people who responded. So quick shout out to Connie, Rosemary, Shanquetta, and Christine. Thank you for taking the time to respond to the pop quiz. I do these pop quiz for you guys because I want to give you real life scenarios that are going to happen in your business so that you know how to be prepared for them. I think that success leaves clues, and I think being able to galvanize our community to hear how other people will respond to specific issues helps you to build out a framework and a procedure that you will utilize in the event that one of these things happen. So of the choices that are given here, what I would do is I would do B and then D. So first, I would have my assistant clear my schedule because if I am tired, I am going to rest. Self-care is a business growth strategy. I do not hustle. I do not grind. I do not overwork myself. And so if I am tired, I honor that I am tired and I give my body what I most need, which is rest. So I'm going to first have my assistant get rid of those calls. D, because while she's making the phone calls to move those appointments, if she's comfortable qualifying them, I'm going to have her spend a little bit of time with each person to make sure that they should in fact be on my calendar if I'm the one doing these conversations. Now, I, of course, have a sales team. I have other people helping me. So it's not incumbent upon me. If I wake up and I am needing more rest, then I can often easily shift because I'm not the only person that is inside of my business. So that's my 2 cents on what I would have done with last week's pop quiz. The current pop quiz is live, and this one is so good. I can't wait to hear what you guys think about it. This is a good one. This is a real life scenario that literally just happened to one of my clients. And so I can't wait to see what you guys would do. So make sure that you take a quick minute and go respond to the pop quiz. Remember, responding to the pop quiz gets you entered into our drawing for a free giveaway. All right, so who's here? Nobody's saying hello to me. So who's here with me? Who's watching with me right now? I'm going to go into the topic that I wanted to talk about, and then we're going to take some questions. But I got eyeballs on me, and y'all are being very rude, and you haven't said hello. So let me say hello. Hello, how are you? Thanks for being here. Happy Wednesday. Happy Leverage and Scale Wednesday. Who's hanging out with me? Say hello if you are here, just so that I know who's here. I wanted to talk to you guys about a big breakthrough that I experienced literally just yesterday. Well, probably the first breakthrough was 2 weeks ago, but now I just got another breakthrough. So I hired a life coach. So at the end of July, I think, is when I hired a life coach. I can't keep it straight. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Asha. Hi, Giselle. How are you? How are you? How are you? So I hired a life coach, and I haven't had a life coach in a long time. Now, I've worked with therapists since I was 19 years old. I hire coaches. I've had business coach, video brand strategist, copywriting coach, like whatever kind of coaching I need. I am not afraid to invest in myself because I know that if I could do it by myself, it would already be done, right? So I decided that I wanted to hire a life coach because I wanted to make sure that I got rid of all of the residue of lack that is in my life. Isn't that good? If that is good, comment Darnyelle, that's good. So what do I mean by residue of lack? And let me keep it real, be fully transparent with you. Many of you know that my husband and I are on a journey trying to conceive. So some of you are well aware of that, right? And as a result of this journey, I've been doing a lot. I have been trying to usurp control the situation. I've pretty much been a Nazi in and around my home, in and around my health, truly believing and living into the mantra, if it is to be, it is up to me. That is a story that I have told myself for as long as I can remember. For as long as I can remember, I've told myself, if it is to be, it is up to me. For as long as I can remember, that's what I've told myself, right? And what holds us back, somebody write this down, what holds us back are the stories that we tell ourselves. So the story I have been telling myself in my personal life, in my business, in my marriage, in every way is, if it is to be, it is up to me. Now you might be scratching your head because you're like, but Darnyelle, I know you love God. I know you have faith. I see your faith, right? Yeah, but I'm not perfect. I'm a work in progress, right? And this girl, in addition to having faith in God, has tried to control things herself, right? So as I have been leaning more into surrender, so something that's been really important to me this year, especially as a result of COVID, has been surrender. And that's a mantra in my life. It's just keeping my hands lifted, ceasing to feel like I have to be the one who's in control of it, right? Can anybody relate? If you can relate, say, I relate. And so as a big part of that, being in surrender and releasing control, it's been about me uncovering the residue of lack. Now, some of you have heard me share this before. In case you haven't, indulge me for a few minutes. When we are born, we are not born with a conscious mind. We're only born with a subconscious mind. Over our first 7 years of living, our conscious mind is formed. And our conscious mind is formed based on everything we take in. So we come into this world as a clean vessel of light and a sponge, and we soak up everything that we're presented to, because that's what your subconscious mind does. It takes everything that's presented to it as if it's the truth. And so you, when you are born, you take everything that's presented to you as if it's the truth. However, a lot of things that are presented to you are not the truth. Can I get an amen? You know, I when I do my science demonstration with the water and the bleach and the iodine, I have this, you know, the clear water, and then I start pouring iodine in, and I say, and then you meet your parents, right? And I'm not trying to say that your parents were the worst and they just tainted your life experience, but regardless of who your parents were and what they taught you, some of the things they taught you are not serving you right now. Is anybody willing to be honest with me to say, yeah, you're right? Some of the things our parents taught us aren't serving us as adults. Now, I fully believe in my situation that my parents did the best that they could with what they had, right? I don't fault them. I don't blame them. I'm not sitting in a seat of resentment. I am in love, admiration, and appreciation for them, for what it takes to bring a child into this world and to do their best to rear said child, right? But let's just keep it real. Like, and I'll talk about myself if you're not comfortable talking about yourself. My parents taught me lack. Lots of it. And all of the work that I've done since I became an adult has helped to chip away at the lack monument that was erected in my life, right? How many of you have a lack monument? If you're being honest with yourself, you have a monument of lack in your life somewhere, right? Like, just wave your hand at me. And so I had a monument of lack. And over the years, I have been chipping away at said monument, but I know that there's still residue of lack in my life. And that residue of lack is making me play smaller than I was created to play, right? Now, my play small, having chipped away at some of the residue, is $1 million company. But when you have $1 million company and you know that you can have a $10 million company or a $100 million company, are you not playing small? Right? So lack is, I can't think of what I'm trying to say. Lack is subjective, is what I'm trying to say, right? And so I hired this business coach because I wanted to get any and all residue. I wanted to continue working at chipping at the remaining residue. of lack that's in my life, because I believe that our inability to be successful at conception is due in part to lack. And that there's somewhere deep inside of me or us that is questioning if we deserve it. I think it's a trust thing, right? You know, like I was, like I said, I was a Nazi. I'm like, I'm not eating sugar. I'm still not eating sugar, by the way, but I'm not eating sugar. I'm only eating salad. We're going to do everything by the book. Every book I found, every Google article I found, I'm doing it like it's the law. I'm putting all of my faith in myself to produce this result instead of surrendering and putting my faith in God. And when I realizing, right, like Dr. Maya Angelou says that once we know better, we do better. So now that I'm cognizant, I am aware that this is what I've been doing. I am trying to reverse the curse that I've created in my own life by feeling like I have to be in control, i.e. residue of lack. So I hired this business coach to help me eliminate all of the additional lack. And last night, y'all, I hope you don't mind that I keep it real with you. If you're okay with me being transparent and keeping real with you about what it is that I'm about to share with you, comment, keep it real, Darnyelle. So in our session last night, not even 10 minutes into our session, I was in tears. Because I started doing this meditation, this Deepak Chopra abundance meditation. And it's the bomb. Highly recommend it. And as a result of doing the meditation, I found myself saying something I have never said before. I have never said before that I want to have a $10 million company. I've never said that out loud. I've never said it, period. I've never even thought it in my innermost thoughts. Never. Not at all. Not once. Okay? I found myself saying that, and I was like, I felt extremely uncomfortable almost as soon as I said it, but I simultaneously had a knowing and a deserving that it was what God had for me. God said he calls me multimillionaire. He said that to me personally, but I've also had prophets come into my life and speak that over me. Multimillionaire, right? I've been playing small at $1 million because $1 million is comfortable. It makes me feel good, right? What holds us back are the stories that we tell ourselves. And I have been telling myself stories of lack over the years. And lack is, like I said, lack is subjective. So whether we're talking about lack at 5 figures or lack at 7 figures, it's all lack. But I've been telling myself stories of lack to stay in this place of comfortability instead of branching out to be who it is that I know God created me to be. Anybody else feeling like that? Like, again, the numbers are relative, but anybody else feeling like that? If you're feeling like that, raise your hand. Because I know that I am the culprit. I know that I am the reason that I am playing small. I might start crying, just a heads up, because I'm feeling some emotion come up. I know that. I know that it's me. And so now that I know that it's me, I have a responsibility to go and get the help to work through it. And so I hired a life coach because it's hard to read the label when you're inside the jar. You cannot do it yourself, people. I'm not saying you have to hire Darnyelle, right? I mean, I'm not a life coach. I'm a business growth strategist, but I have a life coach that works in my programs because I know that you cannot have a booming business when you have a busted life, right? And I'm not saying you have to hire me. I mean, I'm not saying that, but if you want to have a conversation, then let's talk about it. But you need somebody to help you because you cannot eliminate the residue in your life without help. This might sound crazy, but even Jesus can't remove the residue in your life because it's going to take active participation by you in order to remove the residue. So I hired this life coach. We're having a session last night. I confess that for the very first time in my life, I spoke out loud that I want to have a $10 million company. And immediately after I spoke that I wanted to have a $10 million company, I don't know if you guys can see the whiteboard in the background, but on that whiteboard in the background with my assistant on Monday, I walked her through what we will do in this company based on things being where they are now, and how there's no way inside of the current business that I have that I could have a $10 million company. Right? And so anyway, I'm telling this to my life coach, and she says, well, when somebody hires you, what are they getting? What are they getting? I'm about to be real transparent, y'all. For real, for real. Okay? Y'all ready? And I said, they're getting me. I said, they're getting me. As if to say that I am for sale. Lack. Residue of lack. Residue of lack. And you know what I realized that part of the reason why my business has not grown beyond the $1 million mark. Now, 2015, I had a almost $4 million company. And the story I told myself then was what Biggie says, more money, more problems. And so because I was telling myself that story, I changed my business model and I reverted back to a lesser version of myself. And so while we've still done $1 million in the business, by now, if in 2015 we were at I think we did 3.8 million. If we were at 3.8 million in 2015, where would we be now if I hadn't have played small? If I hadn't have let the residue of lack explode in my life and in my business, where do you guys think I would be? I want to hear. Comment. Brandy, Neferteria, Asha, Giselle, Christine. Where do you think I would be right now if I hadn't let lack seep back in? Where do you think I would be right now? I'm just curious to see what you guys think. And I'm sharing this with you for two reasons. Number one, because I want you to know I'm just like you. I put my panties on one leg at a time, just like you ladies. Brothers that are either watching this live or will catch the replay, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm just like you. If you cut me, I will bleed. That's number one. And number two, I want to be accountable to you. You guys agreed to join me in this group. You agreed to join me in the 6-Figure Cash Flow Club so that you could learn how to take your business from 6 figures to 7 figures so that you get 6-figure cash flow. And I want you to know that I am not perfect, and I'm not going to ever sit in a seat of perfection like I got it all figured out and I woke up this way when you are out there struggling with lack residue just like me. Again, lack is relative, but it's lack nonetheless. Yes? So Asha says 20 million. Neferteria says 10 million. Brandy says probably still in the background, not showing people how they can change their life. Girl, you better go ahead. I love it. I think you would easily be at 10 million, Christine said. Giselle says 10 or $15 million. Yeah, if I didn't shrink back, I'm with you guys. I think I would already have a $10 million business if I didn't shrink back. And so what I realized as a result of my coaching session last night is that I have subliminally, subconsciously, I said a few minutes ago, when we're born with a subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind takes everything that's presented to it as if it's the truth. And so my subconscious mind, which has been my subconscious mind since the day I came into the world, November the 16th, 1975, and was introduced to lack, the tape of lack has been playing. Now, it hasn't been playing as loud in years as of late, but it is still playing. And it was easy for me to revert back to a place of lack and allow myself to play small. but not anymore. So let me continue with my story. So I said, they are hiring me. And she said, they're not hiring you. They're hiring you for the results. So I have some clients on here right now. So Brandy, Nefertaria, and Asha, why did you guys hire me? Just to prove my point, right? That you didn't hire me for me. You hired me because you wanted the results that I could produce for you. Yes? Right? Say yes if you agree. Hopefully somebody agrees. And this whole thing ain't about to blow up in my face. And so I told myself, which created an undue burden of responsibility, which is why the way that I work with clients right now, I am actively engaged and involved. Because I told myself that the only way people can get the results that I deliver is if I'm involved. How many of you in your own businesses are doing the same thing? You're stunting your own growth because you are telling yourself a story that is unfounded and not true, because it makes you feel comfortable, it makes you feel important, and it makes you feel needed. How many of you are doing that? Right? Is this good? Listen, let's all get rid of the residue together, right? Let's all get rid of the residue together. And so I am like so excited and on fire. So this morning I told my assistant, my new assistant started on Monday. So excited that she's here. And I told her about the breakthrough that I had in my coaching session last night, that they're not hiring me. They're getting the results. And I decided that I'm going to stop telling myself the stories that I've been telling myself. So 2 mantras that have been ringing true in my life. And I want you to ask yourself, what are the mantras that have been ringing, what are the mantras that are ringing through in your life? These are the 2 that I told my coach last night when she asked me this question. Number 1, if it is to be, it is up to me. I remember learning that in like the 5th or the 6th grade. 10 2-letter words or something crazy like that. If it is to be, it is up to me. Right? That's the first mantra that's been playing in my life. And that's why I've been playing small, because I think it's up to me. And the second mantra is, if you want something done right, do it yourself. Do y'all see how I've been trapping myself inside of my $1 million company? Now, again, you might be like, but Darnyelle, you're at $1 million. Yeah, but I should be at 10. So being at $1 million in this case isn't good, because I've been playing small and I should be at 10. So I changed those 2 mantras last night. If it is to be, it is up to he. And if you want something done right, hire the best. So from if it is to be, it is up to me, to if it is to be, it is up to he. And if you want something done right, do it yourself, to if you want something done right, hire the best. Those are my new mantras. And I am working on actively outfitting my company to gross $10 million. So that's what's going to be happening. I'm changing. My assistant and I were on the website today. We're in the process of building a new website, but for now, our current website, we went in and we noticed some of the things that I've done subliminally that has allowed me to keep playing small in my business. So good, you guys. If you don't have a coach, get you a coach. A coach. Not like, okay, I am technically a coach. I have coaching certifications, but I very seldom coach. I most show up as a consultant for my clients. I'm going to tell you what you need to do. I will coach. I'm not opposed to coaching, but I'm not a coach. I don't show up every single time I talk to you as a coach. I show up mostly as a consultant, which is why on my team, I have coaches who show up as coaches, because that skill set you need in order to get out of your own way, right? But hire someone. If you're at or on target for 6 figures, I'd love to have a conversation with you about that being me and my programs. My programs are the bomb. I am the best who ever did it. Period. Let's be clear. That is one tape that has not been running anything contrary to that. The results that I get are real. The life change that people experience is real. Yeah. I'm the best. It don't get no better. So if you're at where we are from our idle clients, we would love to have a conversation with you about how we can help you to remove the residue of lack that is on your life and impacting your business. But hire someone, because it is hard to read the label when you're inside the jar. It is just not going to happen. It's going to be challenging. Okay? Challenging. So we realized subliminally things that we have been doing, which allowed us to keep everything small and tight and comfortable. Like this box. I don't even know what's in this box. But like allowing us to keep everything small and in this nice little pretty comfortable box, right? Your breakthroughs are not in the box. You got to burn the box, right? You guys know I wrote that book, Burn the Box. You got to burn the box. It's the only way you're going to get to where it is that you need to be. And what I know is that getting rid of the residue of lack that is on your life is absolutely essential to you getting to your next level. And I just want to remind you or tell you for the first time if you've never heard it before, but you getting your business to your next money milestone, whatever it is, $250,000, $500,000, $1 million, $5 million, $10 million, $100 million, whatever it is not about your business. It's about the residue of lack that's in the way. You got to do the mindset work. You can't get around the mindset work. That is why we hold breakthrough in business. And this year, the theme is next level everything. That's why we're still holding it in October despite the pandemic and social distancing. That's why it's going virtual. So you can still get the breakthroughs you need to remove the residue and the lack off of your life so that you can get to whatever is next for you. It's the same energy for you guys that are making, whatever you're making, $50,000, $60,000 a year. It's the same energy to be making $500,000 or $600,000 a year. It's the same energy. The exact same energy. The problem is that right now you're expending the energy in the wrong way. Even me, right now sitting at $1 million company, knowing that I can be at $10 million and knowing exactly what I need to do in order to do it. It's the same energy. And you best believe that now that I've had my breakthrough and I realized that I was creating this stay small space inside of my business, which is why I've been holding steady at $1 million. Oh, you best believe it's about to be on like popcorn. Because once you know better, you do better. And I've hired the coach to be able to help me to continue to work on chipping away at the residue. So I wanted to share that with you. I wanted you guys to be the first to hear about this massive breakthrough that I had and how I'm going to be making adjustments so that I can accommodate the $10 million business that I know that I should already have. And it feels really, really good, even though I should already be there. I'm not remorseful. I'm not resentful. As they say, I wouldn't trade nothing for my journey. But I'm excited about actually getting to where it is that I should be and should have been all along. So I'm excited. Thank you for allowing me to share that with you. For those of you who are watching this, if you just joined us, you might want to go back to the beginning after it's over to catch the beginning of the story. But I'm excited that you are here. Make sure you comment and say hello so that I know that you are joining us. And let me just shout out Winsome. Hi, Winsome. How are you, my dear? Now I just want to open it up to questions. So, the part of this Wednesday going live is to ask me anything. So how can I support you today in order to remove the residue that is impacting your revenue or any other thing to move your business forward? How can I best support you today? How can I support you today? So I'm happy to take some questions. Hey, Wanza, how are you, my dear? I think that's all. Oh, hey, Dakisha. How are you? How are you? How are you? So what questions can I answer? What questions can I answer? What questions can I answer? Just type your question right into the chat. Type your questions right into the chats. Definitely have been struggling with the residue lately. Say more about that, Asha. Like, how can I support you around this? Um, and you can book a call with Marissa as a part of your program. You send me an email because I'm not sure where the links are in IFU, but if you send me an email, I'll send you Marissa's link so you can get on the calendar to have a conversation with her. So Marissa is currently our resident life and mindset coach for Incredible Factor University. What are some other suggestions can you make in the meantime of hiring a coach for removing the residue? Well, you're already in my program, so you have a coach that'll help you remove the residue, Asha. So again, send me an email so I can send you the link to book a call with Marissa. But other than that, you got to be honest with yourself. So I think the first thing is to get a clean sheet of paper, and on that clean sheet of paper, write down your limiting beliefs and your self-sabotaging beliefs. What are the things that you believe that you feel might be hindering your ability to be successful? What are the things that you believe that might be hindering your ability to be successful? That's the question I would ask myself. And so once you write all of those things down, then I want you to one by one ask yourself, I want you to trace the belief. Where did the belief come from is what I want you to do. That's the second step. So if somebody will put these steps in the chat for me, that would be awesome. So the first step is to get a sheet of paper and write this question down. What do you believe that might be contributing? I'm going to say it differently than I said it a minute ago. That might be contributing to how you're showing up in the world. Okay, that was different. That's the first one. Second is I want you to trace the beliefs. So after you've made your list of all the beliefs, and I want you to go through them one by one, and I want you to ask yourself, where did this belief come from? Where did it come from? Then I want you to ask yourself, is the belief actually true? That's the second question. Third question, is there any evidence to support that this belief should continue to exist in my life? Fourth question, if I didn't believe this, what is possible for me? If I didn't believe this, what is possible for me? And then fifth question, or maybe it's not a question so much as it's an action plan, what you're going to do now because you know that that belief isn't real. So how you're going to begin to move in the direction of not holding that belief any longer. So that's what I would recommend, Asha. Great question. Other questions? Other questions? Other questions? Other questions? Other questions? Any other questions? I mean, y'all know that on Wednesdays I'm going to take questions. So why y'all don't come with questions to ask me is really beyond me. Questions? All right, well, if there are no other questions, then we're going to roll out. You know, I don't really have anything else to share, so I'm not going to sit here and look at you guys and you look at me. Okay, this is for business. Do you recommend against placing minimums in packages? Can you say more about what you mean by that? I don't know what you mean. I.e. starting at, you can if you feel like you need to put pricing on your website, it's better to do a starting at instead of the actual price. But I think anytime you have to talk to somebody, you shouldn't give them the price up front. because everybody has their own relationship with money, and not everybody has a relationship with money that helps them to understand the difference between making a purchase and investment. They also can't understand the value unless they have a conversation with you and you walk them through the phases of the conversation to help them to understand, why they need you in the first place. So I don't recommend putting your prices on your website unless it's something people can buy without having a conversation with you. So like even on our website, we're going to be removing the option to know the price for Leverage and Scale Weekend and change it into an application process. We did it that way initially because we offered it during a virtual event. And so we just wanted to make it easy for people to go in and secure their seat. But now that that's over, we're actually going to be removing the pricing and putting it on an application. Because I'd rather talk to people because I want to make sure, A, that it's people that I can help, right? I want to make sure that they're the right fit. If you just put your prices there and they're not your ideal client and they sign up, then now you're in a refund situation or something crazy. You're doing work with a person you don't want to. And everybody, again, they see money differently. I look at $10,000, and when I think of everything that I'm getting from your digital marketing agency, it sounds amazing, and I get it. But the person sitting next to me who needs you more than I do looks at it and says, oh, that's too much, because of the way they value money and the way they see money. Okay, because I've had people reach out asking for them when talking to partnerships. I've had people... Well, if you're talking to a strategic partner, you should tell them what your pricing is. Because depending upon how you establish the partnership, it might be some type of an affiliate commission back to them. So you can tell the partner, but that doesn't mean it needs to go on your website. So typically what I do for strategic partners is I create a pamphlet, for lack of a better way to describe it, that includes the who, what, when, where, and how, and why of whatever they're going to be promoting for me, so that they are aware of how much it costs and what they're going to earn in their affiliate commission. They learn all of that as a part of our partnership together. But that doesn't mean it has to be on your website. Other questions? Other questions? Other questions? No other questions? All right. Oh, something else just came in. You're welcome, Asha. So if you do not have our Incredible Factor 90-day business planner, you need to get it in your life. It will help to give you some structure around what you need to do and be focused on in order to move your business forward 90 days at a time. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. You can grab it at IncredibleFactorPlanner.com. If there are no other questions, going once. I know there's some other people here. Any other questions about anything? This is your chance to ask me anything. You guys know, like to an hour of my time to do a 60-minute call with me is $2,000. I give 1 hour a week in a live presentation to the Six Figure Cash Flow Club. It's the value of $2,000. If you have a question, this is the time to ask it. I do this because I want to give back. I want to add value. I know many of you are not ready to be in our programs, so we can't work with you on a deeper level. But I want to add value, and so that's why I do this. But I'm not, like I say every week, I'm not going to be begging y'all to let me transform your life. I'm not about to do that. It's not about to happen. So any other questions? Going once, going twice. All right. Well, since there are no other questions, I just want to remind you to go back and do the pop quiz for the week. That's how you get an entry into our drawing that goes out. We sent a prize in the mail. We got another question. Hey, Sharice. Sharice snuck on and got her question in. Okay, so let's see. How do I start building a partnership with someone who has an audience without feeling like I'm taking from other people? Okay, so yeah, that's all mindset. That's all mindset. There is no taking from other people. If it's a partnership, each party brings something to the table that adds value to the partnership, right? So number one, you got to see yourself as valuable. That's number one. So that's all mindset. Beyond the mindset, in those conversations as you're building out this partnership, and it's going to start with, dating or courting, right? You're not going to roll up on them, be like, hey, you want to partner with me for this? Even though people do that every single day. And I'm like, I don't understand why people do that. Like, I don't know you. I just met you. I'm not about to go into some money-making thing with you when I don't even know who you are. But, so you're going to engage. So I would first go follow them on social media, join their list, see what they're up to make sure that who they are meshes with who you are. If you can find out their core values, make sure that their core values are in line with your core values. Make sure that there is a connecting point. There's a reason for you to be in partnership. Once you've done that research and that due diligence, then approach the person, right? And say, hey, Susie, I'm Sharice. This is who I am and how I show up in the world. I love how you show up in the world, and I think your community needs this. I've been watching you. I've been on your list. I see what you're up to, and I really feel like this could be a missing link in adding more value to your community. Would you be open to exploring the feasibility of partnership? Typically, when I am aligning with a new partner, it looks like this. The first thing that we do is I invite you to be on my podcast if you have a podcast, or I invite me to interview you on Facebook Live, and vice versa. If that goes well, then maybe we do a webinar swap. And then if that goes well, then we look at having you become an affiliate for a program, or talking through adding this into your program. Is that something you would be open to increase the amount of value that you're able to offer to your community? That's what it looks like. Any other questions around that? Any other questions around that, Sharice? A few more people joined in. Say hello, and I'm taking questions. Sharice just saved the day because I was about to roll out. So we got 13 more minutes left. Any other questions about anything? Seriously, this is the time when you can ask me anything. Anything. If I know something about it, I'll tell it. I'll tell you what I know. If I don't, I might make something up. No, I won't make anything up. I'll tell you that I don't if I don't know anything about it. But this is the time if you would like to ask me a question. You're welcome, Sharice. You got on just at the nick of time. Hey, Brittany. Any other questions about anything? If you just got on, I do highly recommend that you go back and watch the beginning of the live. I shared about the residue of lack, telling my own story and something that I've encountered, a breakthrough that I just had with my life coach yesterday, that I think will really bless you. What are some of the books you can recommend to add to a library? That's a good question. I have a book list, Asha. You got the Success Journal, right? The Success Journal and Action Plan. You should have gotten that in the mail. In there's a book list. Let me know if you got that, because you should have gotten that. But some off the top of my head that I think you should have. You should have The Big Leap. Love The Big Leap. You should have A Happy Pocket Full of Money. The Big Leap is by Gay Hendricks. Happy Pocket Full of Money is by David Cameron Jacondi. You should have You're a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. You did get that? So yeah, go look at that book list inside of the action plan. You have a book list in there. Business-wise, Profit First. I would highly recommend that you have Profit First in your professional library. The Simon Sinek book, Start With Why. And then the second one, which I can't think of the name of that, is Brandy saying, someone asked me for a testimonial of someone I work for. It wasn't a good experience. Should I share that or decline to comment? I think you should tell them the truth. I had this happen to me before too, and someone was like, "Hey, I saw you worked with such and such. What was your experience like?" And I was like, "Well, do you want the truth, or do you want me to co-sign with the fact that you're thinking about hiring them?" And they were like, "I want the truth," and so I told them, because I'm not about to lie. So you can pose it that way. Yeah, The Big Leap is good. It's a great book. Yep. Other questions? Yeah, I only speak the truth. I'm not big up in anybody that I don't believe in. Now, in other news, even if it's to means that the person's not going to hire me, I will tell them the truth about someone. I talked to somebody maybe 2 weeks ago, and the other person that they were considering is one of my mastermind partners. And I was like, look, well, I don't have anything bad to say about her. We're different in our styles and our approach and what we do for our clients, but she's the bomb. So I don't think you can go wrong either way. So I'm not going to badmouth somebody just to get the business. That's lack. That's residue of lack. So I just kept it real. I was like, you can't go wrong either way. Let me know what you decide. Because I'm not, like I say, if you have to convince them, you won't close them. And I don't play the convincing. I'm not convincing you to let me change your life. Not going to do it. No, ma'am. Not at all. No, ma'am. Not going to do it. Other questions or comments about anything? Any questions about Breakthrough in Business Virtual in October? Any questions about Breakthrough? No? All right. If there are no more questions, we'll do this again. Going once, going twice. All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for your time and for your attention. I want to thank you for showing up for yourselves and hanging out. If you just popped on or you popped on towards the end of our time together, I do highly recommend you go back to the beginning and watch from the start. I talked about residue, lack residue that is still in your life, that is impacting your revenue. It's impacting way more than the money that you want to make, but it's definitely impacting where you are today. And if you want to eliminate that, it is essential that you get some support around doing so. Okay. Also, again, I want to remind you to make sure that you go and check out the pop quiz and give your 2 cents. I give away a prize every week. I send a prize out. I will make a note. There was only a few people who participated in last week's pop quiz, so I will post the winner with the link to go fill out the form so that we can send you a gift. I want to thank you guys for your time and for your attention. And do yourself a favor. Put Wednesdays at noon on your calendar that Darnyelle is going to be here. Because unless I tell you otherwise, I'm going live on Wednesday at noon. And I want to be able to support you as much as I can. I want to be able to add value and give you an opportunity to ask me questions to support you on your journey to 6-figure cash flow. I love you guys so much. I'm sending you love. I'm sending you light. I'm sending you energy of increase. I'm sending you reduction of residue so that you can increase your revenue and get to where it is that God has already seen you at. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Take care.